up, guys? I'm not down. What's up, buddy? Well, I made sure that I was a little better prepared this time. I brought plenty of stuff to discuss, talk about, whatever you guys really want. And we'll kind of do that here in a little bit. Let's see if I can lose that light. Hey, give me just a second. Is it? Man, that seems better to me. How are we? What do you think this lighting's a little better? Oh no. Dang it. Is it? I have like this regular thing to where if I get a new handsaw, I cut myself. So. Josh, what's up? Greg, how we doing, man? Did I miss anybody? Right on. Yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of get into it. I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of backstory for the video I'm about to upload. And then we can just talk gear or whatever you want. I have all my rigging gears here, which I usually don't have inside. All my climbing gears right here. I got a saddle and everything, just so we could, if we wanted to do any kind of, gear talk or anything like that, we could do it and it wouldn't be an issue. I have everything here. I feel like I get to doing these live feeds and then I run out of things to do or say, and then it's just awkward. So we are. I always stop in the middle of talking. Sorry, I'm not good. I'm not a multitasker when it comes to reading. Reading has to take all my attention. I'm not the greatest. But yeah, dang. Yeah, the worst thing about saw cuts is they get so like sore afterwards too. They take forever to heal up. That stuff is designed to take wood away. So it takes meat and everything away and takes forever to heal. They just stay so sore, but hopefully you didn't get yourself too bad and you heal up pretty quick. That'd be nice. But this is the scoop. The video that's coming up is it's a fun one. It's a kind of a subject that I feel like a lot of tree guys are going to relate to, which is an area of ash trees that are just, they're all dead. Whether it be ash borer that took them all out, but this kind of seemed like it was more of a root rot situation to all the trees in the area. They were all ash, and they were all our ash here are really skinny, tall, and they're just skinny and tall. They're a pole most of the time. Few will kind of fork, but they don't get a huge canopy, and they just get crazy weak and break. So I'm doing a live feed, and I end the live feed this day, and I get a phone call, and it's from a guy who found me off of this, which his name's Mike Fights. Mike is awesome. He seen me on, I guess me and Buckin were talking back and forth on one of his videos, and he seen me on there, and then found out that I was sort of local to him, same state. So then he got really curious, so he started kind of looking, and he found out that he's only like 4 miles from me. So he called one day, and I don't know how. I think he got my number maybe off a video or something. But right on, Josh. Hey, it's cool. So he asked me to come over and check out his trees. He also kind of climbs a little bit, so he's into just climbing in general. I think wreck climbing and you know spikeless. So he had his own ropes like set in the trees and stuff. When we got there, I thought, well, this is pretty cool. It looks like we have space. So I go to walk to the backyard. Um, I don't get a lot of the good footage off this, so I feel like I should explain it a little bit here, and then you'll understand it more. So the video's done, and I'm gonna upload it as soon as we finish up. But yeah, Mike calls, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm only says like 4 miles from you. I'll be there in a minute. Let me come check them out. So I swing over there, and they're in pretty rough shape. They're pretty far gone, and the woodpeckers are pecking huge holes in them. Just big old gouges out of them, digging for maybe grubs or I don't know termites. But they were all really bad at the base and crispy at the top. So three of them I would say wasn't too bad. They were just really at that sketchy point where if you've never done it before, you probably don't want to try it because the tree's pretty far gone. And so what I did was I tied up into a tree that I wasn't removing. Or actually, I tied into one that was in good shape out of the four, like the best shape. Then I'm going to take the other two trees and combine them together to do the third, which would actually be the fourth because I'm in the first one. I climb one, knock the top out of it. Francisco, what's up, buddy? Oh, I climb one, knock the top out of it, and it's shaking. They're so rotten. And I set some rings in it. I set some all gear rings, and then we do a little traversing from tree to tree because I think I can't really remember to tell you the truth because it's been a little while back. I may have actually used no, okay. My tree was on the backside of another one, so at one point while I'm in the tree trying to knock the top out of it and rig some stuff down because we have a cyclone fence at the neighbors, um, I have to take my climbing line off and just unattach because I'm redirected straight across to an ash tree on the backside. And so I think I kind of make it clear, but so nobody gets all crazy and think that I just wasn't tied in. I actually had Dave send me a rope up, and I tied in with the gree and had my lanyard on, and Had to disconnect to finish taking the top out and rigging it down. But the problem tree there was an ash tree that went out like a 45-degree angle. And it was, oh, Mike, what's up, man? Mike's here. Cool. Um, the one, it went straight at like a 45-degree angle out over the neighbor's yard. And I make a couple mistakes doing the actual tree. I just pretty much, I think I misjudged the fact that I was using multiple trees. And they were pretty tall, skinny trees. They pulled together way more than I think limb to limb redirecting does. Because of the way they're growing. And so Dave wasn't actually able to pre-tension as much as probably, he normally would. And so he ends up getting it as tight as he could. And we get that cyclone fence a couple times. So I do it once. And I just, an inch is worth a mile on this. So I did get the fence. And I could make it to where it looks like I could take the audio off and you wouldn't be able to tell really it hits the fence because it just disintegrates. But I thought, well, after the first one, it's just, well, I'm not going to tell you anymore. You'll see the video. But I just kind of wanted to set the backstory on these because they're just, the space is not there to do them. And the trees are in really, really bad shape. So it took a bit of game planning to be able to come up with the right scenario to make the one out over the neighbor's yard work. But then it turned out that they were cool, and well, you'll see. I stressed and probably complicated it a little more than I needed to when I could have probably went over and knocked on the door. But a lot of times I just figure I'm not going to bother them. There's a way to do it without. If they wouldn't let me, how would I do it? So probably could have saved some time. That's another mistake I made. So you guys know the backstory now on the video. You'll understand it a little more. I didn't get to really talk to Mike on video. So that part is I don't know. I think I'm halfway through it right now, but I feel like I did good to get what angles I could. It took a lot of my focus. I wanted the video, but I didn't get the greatest footage because my attention was on it. The trees were in bad, bad shape. So it's going to be hard for you to comprehend when watching the video without knowing of the angle of the tree that went into the neighbor's yard, which will be the majority of the video, the last of the video. So the camera angle I decided to use did not work very good. It actually took away from the lean and it made it look like it wasn't very bad. So just so you guys know, it was insane, crazy heavy lean, and we managed to make it work. You just have to watch the video. But other than that, I'm glad Mike's here. That is cool. Just talking to a voiceover. Yeah, I should, but I do good to get the time anymore to put together the videos. The footage is so far backed up, and it's all over the place. You'll see stuff from years ago, and so maybe before I upload some of them for those who care or want to know, I can do a bit more of a detailed backstory on them and explain them a bit more. Yeah, Mike, if you got them, message them to me. Right on. Yeah. Do you do you guys like the voiceover stuff during the videos? Because I'll do more of that stuff. I just I hate my own voice. So when I have to listen to my voice on video, ugh, I can't do it. I don't like it. But who all we got here, and what do we want to talk about? You guys want to do climbing gear? Like anybody curious about like anything with the rope wrench or the gree or the zigzag or things like that? And we'll just kind of get this climbing talk going, and we'll just do it from there. I have everything here, and we can kind of just take off and start. I got a pretty neat setup. Well, it's not all that great, but it'll work for now to to do the climbing and the rope stuff. So I do. Yeah, I try to do as much of the captions and stuff. I've had a few people that are deaf that have really digged the videos before, and I thought that was cool. So I try to, instead of doing voiceover sometimes, I try to do that. It's a lot more time, but I don't have to listen to my stupid voice either, and so that's like a bonus to me. Right on, Mike. Maybe I will. I'll do a few more. Nick, what's up, man? Hey, I just started watching your audio video and realized that I'd set this live feed up for this evening so that I could upload the video, and it was time to do it. So I'm gonna catch that after this because I'm really curious about that. I thought that was kind of cool. I just I came across a few new channels. I've had a little time to kind of scope around and see a few of you guys' channels. Bridge Burner, dig his channel. Um, didn't realize that you don't know who people are until like I think the video helps so much. Like I don't realize some of you are as skilled as you are, but then I watch and it's like maybe it's not modern gear, savvy, or maybe it's just killer old school, just basics that are just dead on. And so I dig the YouTube thing to be able to check everybody's channels out. I've had a little bit of chance to do that. That's been cool. So I will get to yours after this, Nicholas. Um, what do you guys think? What do you want to talk about? Zigzag? That'll be the first one I get to. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna sit here right here on video, and this is the only thing. We lost my Haas knee ascender, so I have a knee ascender. I did a live video, showed how to make a knee ascender from a hand ascender. That video's out there. This is the only thing I haven't looked in, so it would be the greatest thing if it was actually in here, but I don't think it is. This is the extra bag that I keep with like an extra saddle and I don't really know what all's in it, to tell you the truth. It's not my normal gear bag it sits in the back. I like to have a simple weaver for for my saddle, especially when it's raining. I don't like my big saddle. I hate getting my gear like that wet, so I try to avoid it. If it's wet or you know this one this one gets it done. I've had it for a long time and it's a good saddle. But this is for those that are ever curious and want to know how I climb. I feel like I've explained this stuff a billion times, but then when I explain it, sometimes I'll do it again on video. Somebody act like it's the first time I never heard it. So I'm gonna do it again. How I'm able to cut stuff and hang my saw up so quick. I didn't go buy a transporter. I didn't go buy a special clip, which costs 100 and or over. I did a simple fix. I take my saw lanyard, I hook it back on a loop, then I hook it to the saw. Okay? On my saw side, every saddle has these. These are just to hang your chainsaw up on. What I did is I just break this plate off. That hook is real nice. And it works really good. So I break the plate off so it can't close on the saw side, which costs no money. And I either hang it up with the clip for the saw or on the back of the saw. Use this old 200T here, or the back of the saw there, where it's clipped in, and it sits there real nice. So for those that are ever curious, the ability to be able to make a cut and hang your saw up quick is a very good skill to have. It'll save you in occasions to be able to cut and hang up and get a grip. You may not get bounced around, ribs broken, all kinds of stuff. I got to experience all that stuff, so I tried to figure out, I can't say it's always somebody else, so what could I do to fix the fact, back when I kind of started, I was rigging and got bucked around in the middle of one and got some ribs hurt. And I just immediately then thought, how could I have kind of stopped that from happening? If I could have braced myself because I was trying to hang my saw up, and in the process, it didn't go so good. But, yeah, I realized I gotta be able to hang my saw up really quick. I gotta be able to hang it up and then, get to it really easy too. So I just pick it up off that hook and do it that way. This is a, I don't know, oh, this is a spider leg that I had sewed up. BR, what's going on? These are real great for rigging. Well, yeah. I have this thing up here. If I can have a stupid knot tied into that thing. There we go. What's going on, BR? Alright, so check this thing out. Oh, Jared, what's going on? Connor's here. What's up? See this thing? I think roofers use this. But the reason I got it, I bought it. It's a weird rigging plate. But I bought it and hooked it right here, a strap to it, and then rigged a little limb off of it and tagged uh, the X-Man, JD, the guy who invented the X-Rings, and told him, "Look, look what I bought at Lowe's, or look what they just came out with," and he had just come out with the safe block at the time, and he was very aggravated until I told him it was a joke. So, never used this thing until now. So, but I think that's what it's for. I think roofers use it. It's like an anchor for them. All right. So, the ability. Let's say you got a limb that you need to balance. So, the easiest way I know to balance is take your rope and you can, okay, let's say you don't have a spliced rope with a spliced eye. Just tie a loop. There, I'll use the other end, but I'm going to show you with this end because it'll be nicer. You have this. Right on. How was work? Yeah, I was off today too. I went and bought a bunch of lumber. I'm gonna lift the side of my racks up higher and re-brace them and clean everything up and put a brace for just for that little log lift, so we get a little higher lift on it too. I think it'll be nice. All right, so you don't have a spliced eye, tie you a loop, okay? And you need to balance a limb. You you don't want to. It's too hard to pick that perfect middle spot. You just take a regular rope with a loop. Okay, the one you use for your spider leg should be a smaller diameter than your actual rigging rope. Because if you put them the same diameter, you're going to get slipped. It's just going to happen. It's the way they work. If you use bigger, I think you're actually going to get slipped. You need a smaller diameter rope which will bite on a bigger diameter. So this is what I use. You just take it and start wrapping it around until you get to, I like to use 3 or 4, or well, 4 or 5 wraps up, and then you take the end of the eye, which is still there. I'm gonna untie that stupid knot that I put there though. Who was that? Oh, that's still not done. Okay, so now you run it through, the end of your rope through, and you get this dressed. You're gonna have to dress it probably the first time, but after you get it dressed, it'll look a lot smoother, cleaner. And I use this same technique when I'm pre-tensioning, or you can use this technique to take a one-slinged X-ring and turn it into a dual ring by doing this too. But you get this, and what's happening is the bottom loop here is going all the way to the top. It's grabbing this one and it's creating pull down, which is bringing all the loops together and smashing. So you can take that part and adjust it up or down depending on how much length you want between your 2 points. Spread them out, and then the limb can't drop. The butt can't drop out. It stays stationary. So the ability to stationary rig is super important when you're dealing with something that's over an obstacle. You can't let it drop, or You can't, let it go into a negative rig, or so you need to be stationary. You could use the same technique and put 3 or 4 of them. It wouldn't, wherever you need on this. I wouldn't suggest it. You usually don't need that many. 3 points. So if you needed to add another one, you could do that. But yeah, the ability to do this. And what I do is I'll usually tie the spider leg. Then I'll tie the rigging rope. Then I'll go back to here and I'll have him tighten it up at the X-ring. And as he's tightening, one will still be loose. So then I'll have him bring it back down and I'll adjust that so it's giving the pull. Like, let's say you needed to pull up a little bit. You could set this one a little shorter, this one a little longer. And it would start to pull here and then kind of drop down into it. The ability to grab it at 2 different points, you can actually force the limb to do what you want. So you just want the butt to drop down a foot, but you want the tips not to move at all. Tie this a little, the tip a little tighter, and you leave a little bit of slack in this one. And so as it cuts, it drops into that slack, but this one stays stationary. So, probably a long-winded version of it, which I tend to do. Man, I really was really hoping it was going to be in here, and it is not. Dang it. Got a whole thing of throw ball string, though. Anybody use the Forester? I used this stuff one time, and it cut clean through my thumb and into my fingernail, like my thumbnail, halfway down it. It sliced my thumb in 2 long ways. I grabbed it and pulled really hard. Oh, yeah. It gashed me wide open. So it's strong, but it's like sharp or something. I don't know. Reminds me of that like chain rope, that rope that you can buy that's supposed to be a chain. You cut stuff. Dang it, I wish it would have been there. Did I ever get to show you guys this gear bag that Greg gave me? I think I started to show you, and then my live feed ended. This thing's awesome. Watch this. It's all in one bag now. Friction saver. Go Buckingham. It's all in one bag now. All my gear. So. Alright, check this out. It's from Conterra. Says made in USA. So I dig it. Here we go. First, let's crack open. It's got 2 sides. It's got a back. It's got my handsaw in here. Which my handsaw is not a little, it's big. So that's the PS90 from Steel. So that slides in the back. I can put some other stuff there. If you see, there's a puffy spot here that's kind of has nothing in it. I could put my helmet in it, but I don't use the cask anymore. And you need like a suitcase for the banner proto. So here's one side. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different loops here for like accessory beaners and stuff. There you go. Yeah, so it's got all these spots for accessory beaters. There's my chest harness, my hand ascender. I have a couple of these. I really like this CMI hand ascender. If anybody ever needs a hand ascender, I would recommend this one. It's really comfy. Has dual locks, which some of them kind of come undone pretty easy. You hit the thumb here, and then grab the trigger. So these things are really nice. Oh, okay, now I understand why it's so dark. Let me turn this other light on. I hate it though. It's like it yellows the room. But yeah, now you can probably see a lot better. There is my grapple hook I made from a stationary lanyard. The fact that the ring spot here, when positioned, is over the top of the lip allows me to pull on this, and no matter if it's hooked in or not, when I whip at it, all this excess weight this thing is just so perfect in shape. All this excess weight helps it roll off of it. I've messed with a lot of hooks and made a lot of hooks, and a lot of them, the shape isn't right. You need so much extra stuff, but if you look at how far that comes down, it's not for very big branches. But as it's set, it wants to set like this, which is nice. So when you whip at it, all that extra weight there that sets at the bottom, because the base down there is much thicker, way, way thicker than the end here or there. So really, really nice. I think I bought a stationary lanyard at like, I don't know, a flea market or something, and I took this hook off of it, which it's solid steel and it's heavy, so you usually need a little bit of weight to be able to get that good chuck on a grapple anyway. That thing's awesome. Yeah, Don, if they're neat. I tried so many of them. I messed up making so many of them. So that one amazed me when I seen how easily it was to retrieve and get. So I dig it. I have another rope that has a ring welded up here on top that I can take a little rope and clip it in, throw it over a crotch above it, and let it dangle down. Then when I get ready, I can pull on that rope and lower the whole thing down, unclip it, pull it out. So, yeah. There's a lot of forethought that goes into these things that I make that I never tell anybody. But I usually won't show you until I feel pretty confident in it. I'm always kind of tinkering around with something. But yeah, I got a bunch of prussics in here. Foot ascender. There's the hitch climber pulley, which any climber I would definitely suggest getting one of these. These are very, very, very nice as far as a climbing product. It's a must-have. So yeah, Jared, the hand ascender it's a great tool to have, just especially on grappling too. Like if you're using it in 3-to-1 to like here. Let me set this up after I get to it. There's another, I don't know, friction saver. Let me show you guys what all this is. There's that other. This one is a hand ascender that has been made into a spike ascender. These bungees pop off. Those hook to the top of your climbing pad. And this part of the hand ascender slides up onto the hook. It holds it there. These straps pull down on it so it keeps it stationary and it can't move. These work really good as foot ascenders also. There's the gree. We'll look at that here in a second when I get a rope out. This also has, look at all these clips, these spots. This thing is awesome. Got a couple figure eights, little rope grab, a rig and pawl, which I don't use a whole bunch, but I may use this only because I can't. I feel like I need to because I bought it. I've had it for a long time. But yeah, nothing special there. A couple micro pulleys. Backside I don't have nothing in there. And then I got all my rope wrenches and stuff down in here. One of them is missing. I don't know where it's at. Probably in this. Now, I showed you all that. Now look at all that holds in here. I'm going to have my stuff everywhere. This is going to suck to clean up. I'm lazy and I'm not cleaning it up tonight. There's the other one. We'll hook this up and check it out. There is some speedline straps, redirects. These purple ones are much longer, so I like these for fatter trees, you know, kind of keep a plethora of different sizes, but I feel like these are about perfect, and these are almost too long a lot of times. When I run out of those and I have to use one of these, I have to do like 5 half hitches. So then I got my whole ropes in there. I think there's another, there's something like another rope for grapple. A couple double sheave pulleys from CMI, which are pretty nice. Originally I was using them to pre-tension our lines, but they seem like were too complicated for the guys, so I just, if they're not going to use it, whatever. And I just got some throw balls and my little hatchet that's down in there. Yeah, it amazes me how much stuff this thing holds, though. It's pretty nice. So, let's check out the, okay, let's just do first, and we'll just run a live feed for a while here. First, let's do the zigzag. Now, if you had the zigzag and you had just purchased it, I'd imagine you probably just have, you know, you may not have a rope that has a spliced end. So that's the problem with this, is you can't attach this in the middle of the line, which is a bummer. I gotta do something with this thing. It's blinding me. You see a damn thing. Start throwing stuff. That'll work. Still blinding me. Whatever. We still have anybody here. Is this gonna be? Oh shoot! My fat thumb got in the way. That's awesome, Josh. That's cool, man. How'd it go? Everything go smooth for you? Was you having to rig a bunch out? Yep. Okay. So the gree, or no, let's do the zigzag. What I'm talking about. I run this with the rope wrench and a quickie, and those are kind of tough to get off these, off the zigzag, but if you turn it, they're designed, I think, to come out. And I heard that like you could do the same thing with I think it was the rope wrench or something, or no, it was the rope runner. If you take the pin and just start to rotate it, they're designed. They have a little catch that actually catches it. And I bet the wrench up here probably does the same thing. No, but it's got like a little catch on it that as you turn it, it pops off. But this is what I add to it to turn it into a SRT system. But we'll do it um, as DRT first. No rigging, there's plenty of space. Oh, awesome, cool. Dude, that is awesome. That's sweet. And a Ford Ranger, what the heck? That's awesome. Dude, I love it. Those are the guys that you want to work for all the time. Just the appreciation alone, when you get that from a customer nowadays, it is just awesome. Because you know that most of them are pretty snotty and like always think you're out to get them, when I'm just not that guy. But I feel like a lot of it's guilt because that's the way they would do people if they ever got a chance. So they're kind of a little standoffish. Let me see if I could add a little bit of light here and be able to take that one away. This thing's just too bright. I feel like it's gonna blind me. I had another light over there and it was working good. Then I stopped paying attention. I looked over and it was out. That's better. That's much better. Sorry about you're looking for quality. This probably ain't its place. So. Zigzag from Petzl. Dang, the lighting is so much better. Dang it. That's cool. That's awesome. Alright, so this is what I attach on mine. I love this Eldred carabiner. It has multiple locks there. Then put down on this trigger. Then push it open. So really nice. Plus that spring there keeps it in position. You don't ever end up with it over on the opposite side or something. That's kind of tough with some of these devices, but this actually has a swivel, and this was given to me actually by Nee here. So you guys see him in the comments. Just incredibly crazy to me that he would, do it, but man, I've enjoyed it. It has been very nice. I'd say we're getting close to the year, a half year or something like that. It has been really, really, really smooth. I climb it with this All Gear Cherry Bomb, and I think it's like 11.7 or 12 or something, so it works so perfect. Eldred is cool stuff. Yeah, they're pretty nice. Yeah, you do. You definitely get what you pay for nowadays, and they're, I can't blame a lot of people for being standoffish because I know how many asses there is out there. So I've seen a lot of guys take and put a piece of string that actually comes out of this, or make it really pointy. That way it goes in here. So what you do for the zigzag is collapse it, go in this top hole, which is the flapper that you control a lot of your descent and stuff on. So there, go in. I kind of like to, when I go to put it in, I'll just kind of twist. Ooh, no. keep it collapsed. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, and it's making it worse. Then when you put it through, I actually messed up one time when I was putting this on, and I must have like ran it. I had it collapsed out here like this, so when I ran it through, I ran it through this bottom one. I had it over on this side. Went to hook up, and it was so weird, but it actually held, which is bad. But okay, so after you go through the springs or the links, you go into the back of the pulley and around it. There's a little diagram, I think, on the side of the dang device if you just pay attention. I think he tells you what to do. So now, as long as this thing's collapsed, it'll run up a rope. When it extends, the links extend, they create bite at every point, which allows you to stop. So I would think, most people, if they're starting out with this, I should have put it in the other way, but okay, you want to run this DRT. So you find what carabiner that you prefer there. That's the big thing. The shape of that carabiner in comparison to this and where your hands go is going to be a big deal because it's going to attach the other end of the rope when you're running it in DRT originally. So I'll just use whatever, but let's see. I got one here. I would say if I was using one, I would use a oval carabiner. So let's just pretend we're there. I would take the carabiner and I would put it into my zigzag and then tie on to it or clip it in, whatever you gotta do. See, I figure some of these, because that gusset's in there, they don't click all that great. So, what you end up with is, don't just imagine that thing isn't there. We tied to the middle. Is that which you collapse that there, and you get to moving. Now, this is what's neat about this device. As you're using it, you can just grab the whole thing here and go and 10 slack. So you're out on a limb, you're working your way, my coffee. You're working your way out, and your way out there, well, when you're coming in, you want to be able to just pull up on it there. This pulley, just like in a hitch climber or any kind of DRT system, this pulley collapses the friction system, which is like an artificial friction hitch. So, or hitch cord is what that is. So you're just tending back up with one hand. Or the technique that like I prefer more than anything when I'm out on a limb is the end here. Let me just put this out of the way. What I'll do is I'll get out there, and the end here I will take and run up into a hand descender and clip it on here, and then you got a 3-to-1 when you pull yourself back up. It makes it pretty easy. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed the Gregory. It's been real nice. See, I wish my comments would go back to normal. That way I could read everybody's comment. Nice device. I wasn't sold on it at first. Uh, I didn't mechanical. It doesn't. I don't see the purpose, but it is very nice. The ability to take it and it's all in one piece is really nice instead of having to hold three different cords and hold them together so you can put your micro pulley in there and then get your carabiner to go through everything. So if the only problem with this device I see is technically there isn't a spot for to 10 slack. So you have to buck up, or you can actually, with this device, because it's so smooth with this, you could probably pull yourself up the tree by just grabbing the bottom if you had a long enough split tail right here to get yourself away. You could pull yourself up and get all the way to the top that way because of how easy the system and how smooth it works. Or you run it up onto a hand descender like I was saying up here, and then when you pull here it collapses the system, you know, the hand descender where the micro pulley's at, and it's pretty nice. If you left a comment and I missed it and you need me to answer it, please put it again. I when I touch it and I get it off whack, then I miss everybody's comments, and I apologize. So, I thought I got a good rope. That's cool, man. Yeah, you know, a nice rope is a must, especially when that's what all your life's on. So, bad. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having one too. I built mine too, Sam. I even was saying use shackles and you know, or them screw open big old clips. So they don't do a whole bunch on a speed line set until you get into something where you're looking to actually zip line something. Then you're dropping something into a system that's supposed to hold it instead of guide it. Because speed lining for the most part is a free fall that you're directing. If you need to drop weight into a system and move it, that's a lot more force. And I think some guys mess up and they speed line things and then they jump into trying to drop wood into it and hold it, and that's a total different thing. So that's the zigzag in DRT. So I do not climb with it in DRT. I prefer it in SRT. So when I talked about all the benefits of the quick tending, the solid system, all that all still applies in SRT. So how about the notch centennial last January? I've been trying to contemplate what I need a saddle. Like my clip rings are rusted and stuff, and things just pretty old. I've been on that same bridge, and those bridges are awesome. Those bomb-proof bridges, the web bridge, they're they're freaking amazing. But I try to stay pretty picky with what I clip into that with, and maybe I just don't wear them out like other guys. But yeah, I've been thinking about maybe getting the Monkey Beaver too. Or I might try the Denali. I've liked Weaver products and I've used them for a long time. My saddle that I use now is Weaver, so I don't know if I love it, but yeah. I know a couple people that have the Cheryl Edge, so I think some of them would like it. But you can take this and turn it straight into an SRT device. Then when you turn it into SRT, you can use this ring, the other hole here, when you attach your rope wrench. This is why I use the little. Why am I having a brain fart right now? This is ridiculous. The quickie links. They're really nice to use. For some reason, they're going to be a pain for me to get out for some reason. That is the only thing about these. I try to rarely mess with getting it out, the pin, because my fingers are all cut up and chewed up always from work. So it's not like I have like fingernails or anything to push down on this stupid shite. So, hey, did any of you guys watch the fights last night? Are any of you guys MMA fans? I guess that's one thing I never talked about. I'm a huge MMA fan. Anybody else? Sure. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna take down the biggest mulberry I've ever seen before. Right on. So now I'm gonna turn this to SRT. I like to take this this quickie link, and that's what attaches my rope wrench anyway. But the advantage of this thing is you don't get something that's gonna slide around, because a lot of times a carabiner here, your wrench, especially if you're using a soft wrench, which I thought I had down here. Let's say you're using a single wrench tether. That thing on a carabiner would slide around and be off of it. This gives you a spot to tin slack. You're flipped into there, and as you're going up, your device is going up. So that's the big benefit I feel like to this quickie link. And then an extra spot to grab a hold of when you want to just tend it and pull it up. They're nice. I've actually tied in and then put a little sling out behind me and held myself in position and floating out with this too. So it's just giving you an additional attachment point. So the only other part with the wrench, when you attach it, is to pop the actual wrench on. Then Greg's tether is perfect shape, so I'm able to grab it, and basically as a handle on my way up. And as I'm coming down, the system extends. Ooh, and it creates a lot of friction. So the actual wrench, and it allows you to roll on this device in SRT when it's actually designed to be a DRT device, because the rope wrench, any rope wrench takes a regular system that would be a DRT device and creates so much artificial friction by changing the position of the two ropes and the way they run, that it allows you to take any device and turn it into a device that you would need on a moving rope. So it's pretty neat. Who won the Poirier? Who won the Powerball? Come on, who's the billionaire out there? I wish I knew. Too much drama on UFC anymore. Oh, yep, I just tune in for the fights. I don't really care about much else. I just have been a long time fan and now I'm to the point of being invested, so I would probably never miss one anymore. Here's what I was looking for. Here's a wrench, and it's on a different kind of tether. This is a dual tether. These, same thing with these. When you would go to clip this on with a carabiner, let me just get a carabiner, and you was to go to clip it onto there, when you clip this on, this thing either wants to spread open and you'll look down and it'll be like this, or it makes its way from being up here to all the way around here, and you now have this additional gap in your system, which, look how long that would be. That's insane. It would probably still work, but I don't think a flex point, like 2 flex points right there, would be good. I think this would constantly run it into your system. So that's the reason I love the Quickie Link on this. Greg is the one that gave me the advice for it and told me to go with it, and it was very good advice. I jumped all over it. Was incredibly impressed. They work so good. So right on. That's awesome. I have a couple older ones up here that I'm gonna get going. There's a home light up there, top handle, and then it's an XL, made in America. There's a Poland Micro XXV, and I think I had a few more like older ones, but yeah, eventually want to get them things fired back up. Yeah, chipper and a bucket truck. A skid steer. Right on. I wish I had a skid steer. Need a 12 XP and a ditch witch mini. Yep. I agree, Sam. I wish I had one. Dang, right on, Josh. Killing it, man. That is awesome. I love hearing it, dude. All depends on the order. Right. You'd be able to use it once a week. Yeah, yeah, there's just a lot of places you can't get them to. But I have noticed you... Artistry. Service. Right on. Artistry. Hey, I like that. That's nice. I like that play on words. That is really cool. That'll stick. How many years have I been in the game? My dad raised me, I think, since I was like... My dad always raised me, but I'm just saying he was a climber since I was like probably 10, 8, something like that. And that's what he did. So, you know, he did a lot of other stuff, but climbing is what he really got into. Kind of focused on that. Then I kind of learned at a really, really young age. Of course, that's what he did, so I didn't really want to do it. I wanted to be different, you know, always, until you realize that, you know, you're maybe not good at everything. And I had to realize that, yeah, I'm not good at too much. This is what I'm good at. So, went back to it, really got into it, and 25 years at least. I don't know, maybe more, off and on, you know. But climbing, I just like climbing. I've been climbing since I was a kid in trees and stuff like that. And then when I find out there's all these little gadgets and stuff, I've made it even funner. And then being able to make videos and share them on YouTube gave me a way to express my creative side, which was even cooler to me. So it also did, you know, YouTube made work fun again, to tell you the truth, because a lifetime in it, it can get tedious and a bit boring sometimes. Even though it's probably the most adrenaline packed job that there is, it can get boring. Um, just depends. How'd you get into tree work? What age did you start climbing? I probably started climbing though, like with gear. My dad put it on me at a young age. I don't know, and I tried it, and then I realized I could do it. I could get up there, but then probably 15 or so till I'm starting to realize like around that the buck strap is important. It you can relax on it, and at that time we weren't setting our ropes. It was a free climb to the top with a buck strap, and you could take your climb line and throw it around and maybe tie it off to your side. But I didn't even know stuff like that. I just buck strap all the way up and then tie in. Do the work. So kind of went off and did everything else, and then kind of would just climb here and there, and then I got back into it and kind of stayed into it when I found out I could just hang out with people that just like climbing and doing that kind of stuff. So that made it fun. You have old home light XL. Oh, right on. I may take you up on that when I get a chance to maybe work on that because I think I'm missing a couple parts. I got into it one time and realized that I was missing a few, so. Because, oh, no, no, I don't mind paying the shipping. It's, it's just, I know that I won't be getting into that one for a while because I actually have this old Poland. It's a super clean. Um, it's a beast of salt. Actually, I don't know. It's right there. It is, I don't know how many, like, cc's, what size the saw is, to tell you the truth. I don't even know where all the parts are at right now. Here's the fake brake handle that came with it. So, hey guys, just like always, I don't have an ending to my videos. I just go until the phone won't go no more. And it's about it. So, I've made a huge mess. Probably didn't accomplish a whole bunch. Had a fun time chatting with you guys, which is always fun, so. Bar and all. Oh, right on, dude. That is cool. Yeah, I definitely will catch you on that one. Let me get a little time to mess with it, and I will. Oh, yeah, dude, I do too. That's why I have a beautiful wife inside that I could stay in there, my kid, my brand new puppy. But sometimes I just want to go hang out with like-minded people. So this, I wish I could look at everybody and you were in front of me too, but this is just as good. So right on, Josh. Yeah, he is good. He is really good. That sounds about right, Josh. Landscaping company late and I'm hired immediately, huh? No, climber. That's awesome. That's awesome. Email me again. I'll try to see if I can find it on my emails, dude. I erase a bunch of them so I can save some space on my phone. I erase a lot of stuff, so I have to go back into it. But guys, I gotta get out of here. My phone is getting ready to completely shut down. Had a blast. You guys are fun as always. Appreciate you, giving me your time. My phone said low battery for the 5th time. I'm out. See ya. Thanks for giving me your time. Stay safe, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. See you guys. See you, BR, Greg, Josh, everybody else, Sam. I appreciate it, guys. Jared, catch you later.